Hi traders, Nick here recapping the day, Monday 30th. A green day all around, but before I go on, this morning MarketFi had a technical issue delivering emails, and I got a lot of notes saying, hey, I didn't get the email, You can always go directly to the website. Since I've been doing this, I've never missed writing up once. So if you didn't get the email, there's a technical issue delivering it. So go to the website of marketfi.com, log in, go to the service, and you'll see them all there. You can just click on it and read it off-site. That's number one. Scoreboard, it was strong. Obviously, we had a strong open, and it was hard to find red tickers anywhere at the open. And then the redness started to creep in momentum stocks like Tesla, more on this later, Twitter, Chipotle, Facebook, Baba. But in the end, the bulls won the day and held the pop. Calls for the pop, mainly I think it's a reaction to the China news. They basically came out and said, we're ready to do more. I put that in quotes, Draghi style. So they're saying we're ready to do QE, cut rates, add money, whatever they're going to do if they get bad growth numbers. And they've been prepping us for bad growth numbers now. This is a very bullish statement. It provides no specifics, just comforting. For the markets to know that they will likely to do whatever it takes to maintain their growth targets, even the lowered ones. This leaves me wondering as to what the China officials actually see behind the wall and that we don't yet. Today's FXI, which is China ETF, was up like an eye-popping 4%, actually even more than that. That is probably like 7 or 8 year high. That's just a lot, a big move from here. I don't know if it can go up from there. I mean, this is different because they have a QE. Here we don't. Also, we had news from Greece, basically lack of news, basically saying, okay, no news is good news, and maybe they are closer to meeting their targets, so they're going to find funding for the next few weeks at least. So be careful with your shorts. We may get another pop on the actual announcement of a Greek deal or appeasement of the rules that they need to do. Anyway, so this is a pop that deserves a little distance just because half of it, or more than half of it, the China part, is actually fundamentally driven. There is money that is likely to come into the market if we get bad numbers. So good news, bad news type of a deal. The part about the relief on Greece, I'll step back from it. I can short it, but I'm not rushed to do it. So the scoreboard was plus 1.5% on the Dow, just about the same, a little less on the SPX, a little less than that on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ was dragging even though Apple was up over 2%. Small caps had a decent performance today, 1.4%. Luckily, since last week, I think Thursday or Friday, I said the setup for this week is looking bullish just like last week. Even though last week they didn't take advantage of it, we knew that this week they might get into the week looking to get that bullish setup, put it to work. So the market's opened strong and just kept on getting stronger. Again, the cracks in the armor started to show within very specific stocks. So what did I do? I didn't do much. I took a small short via the NASDAQ, and it was just basically leaving some room, about 3.5% upside from here. But given at the altitude we're at, I'm comfortable holding it for a day or two. I'm also comfortable closing it for a small loss if I need to. This is for active traders. It was at 45.45, so shorted the 45.35 actually. Call and bought the 45.45 call for April. For that, I collected a net credit of about 70 cents or so. Depends between 63 and 88 or 85 or 80. Depends on what time one took it today. So it's about the theoretical chance of success is probably about 85-ish, 84, and it's about a 7% yield or so for 19 days. More on this tomorrow if I do anything with it. So basically the price action in the morning gave me a target, and the target was 2082 on the ES. This is the S&P, and it finally hit the target late in the day. But look at the close. We closed and then wham, we took a little tumble into the close, and now we're about 5 points lower than the close, and that happened across all the indices. This is the NASDAQ. We hit the roof right away, and then we did nothing. We retraced right away, and we kept on getting higher lows, which is good, knocking on the roof, which is good. That funky poke right there, don't know what that's all about. print right there. And it's on like heavy volume too, kind of a deal. So some quarter end coming this week, Wednesday, so maybe window dressing somehow, beyond my pay grade as to what everybody's doing. This right here I thought was an important part that Apple played. Apple was meandering right here and then broke out of its potential. It was seeking this level up here, but it fell short, but an outstanding performance. But here the candle I thought was the setup for a bear trap. So this right here told me, okay, they're setting up for a good strong close, and indeed it happened. The Tesla, more on this a little bit later, but what I'm going to say to all of this is it's hard, it's easy to want to chase, but before I chase this plus move, oh my gosh, markets are up 1%. Zoom out. That's the ES. Look at where we're at. This is the Yellen rip. We're just a little above halfway. Actually, we're less after market. Okay, we're right here. So we're coming out of a hole. I wouldn't want to chase that yet. I want confirmation. You've heard the term dead cat bounce. This is probably a perfect example of it. Look at this. This is 10 days, okay? Apple is not immune. Let's go 30 minutes. So that's also 10 days. We're back to levels from, it was 133 at one point not too long ago. Crude today, oh my gosh, what a shenanigans there. More on that in a little bit. Small caps. This was the NASDAQ, by the way. This was Apple. This is the S&P. Now we're looking at the small caps. Same deal, although the healthiest today, but same deal. What about Tesla? Okay, today Tesla had an outstanding day, up 3%, but that wasn't so early in the morning. Let me zoom up 5%. It was down. It was 181.45, I think, was the low of the day, which is the low of Friday. Scary point. And then right here, Elon comes out with a tweet. Boom, up 3% in an instant, right? Well, not in an instant, 2.5 or 2.3 in an instant, then up 3% on the day. What's this level here? I don't remember, so I'll zoom out a little longer. And you can see that it's still in the toilet compared to where it was just less than 10 days ago. Okay, so keep the perspective. Although people that are short Tesla need to revisit the tweet and see what it actually means. I don't know exactly what this new product line is. I read rumors that it was actually a home application to batteries. This could be a game changer for a short perspective, and I would be careful shorting it from here. All right, and that was Tesla. And as far as volumes, let's visit the volumes to see what kind of a conviction we've had on this. Decent volumes and a huge gap up with the S&P, so we kind of saved the trend that was in danger on Friday. See that? We're back up halfway here. We have not erased the bad candles from last week, not even one. So patience and caution is still warranted. Those are the cues, also gap up. Look at that, we're not even halfway. This provides me perspective. Volume is just about the same. Here we are, boom, another day. Yes, green 2 days, gap up on top of a good day, but still halfway. Volume is just about the same as Friday. So not a bad day for the bulls. As a matter of fact, it's a pretty darn good day, but not a day to chase blindly. Okay, I want to show you some other names that I was asked about today, and let me see here. You know the variables, we've beat them to death. The only one I want to mention is apparently that nobody else is looking at the statement from Yellen on Friday with the 3 points that I pointed out. Number one is bearish, number two is bearish, number three is bullish. Number one bearish is the fact that she pretty much wrote off the 2016 idea of the first rate cut. It's definitely in 2015, based on what she said on Friday. She also wrote off, because of that, the fact that she might act sooner. She might need to act sooner than where the CPI is actually 2%. That's her target inflation rate. We can't get there. They can't measure it for some reason. So she said that we may need to act earlier. Because she needs to act in 2015, that tells me that she doesn't expect the CPI to be at 2% by the end of the year, but she leaves the door open to be able to move without surprising the market. Hey, you moved before 2%, but I told you way back then on March 27th that I may do that. So those 2 points are very bearish, and I don't see anybody talking about these. So I bet you anything they will surface in the next few weeks, because she said them. I didn't make them up. And the other one is bullish, the fact that she reserves the right to actually reverse a rate cut, which to me is QE. That's very bullish, and that's not built into my thesis. All right, the ranges, you've seen them. A few tickers is Tesla. You know, that's kind of a weird thing I needed to mention, so be careful if you short there. On days like today, it's easier to mention the stocks that were red, really. Slam dunk market moves like that, you ask yourself, why is this stock red? Why is this stock red? And if you find the reason, then you may be able to pay yourself a little move here and there. I think there was a stock today, Yelp. I think there were more rumors that Priceline was buying Yelp, and it barely moved. So I've read this rumor before, and the price is like in the 60s, and now it's in the 40s, so it should be spiking 10% on that, but I don't see that happening, so maybe people don't believe it. Twitter, also the joke of the day, the move on Twitter. Twitter avoided a bad day today, in my opinion, technically, and a bad setup, I should say, technically. And look at that. Look how low it was. I'm holding puts, and they were so green, and then the Tesla blurb comes out, and Twitter runs. Like, how is the Tesla blurb good for Twitter? So now what I have is lower highs. Whoopsies, wrong one. Lower highs and higher lows. Almost, not quite, but a tightening of the range. So this green one, I'm going to extend it. It tested it today. Look at that. So now what? You know, it's going to have to make a decision sooner or later, and it needs fundamental news or a headline or something in order to bust out of there. Priceline, I did mention that. Somebody asked me if I wanted to short Priceline. I don't have any Priceline specific reasons to short. So if I short Priceline, it's because I want to short the markets, and Priceline runs fast. And if markets crash, Priceline will crash faster. That's the only reason I want to short Priceline. I don't have any Priceline specific reasons to short it. So if you want to do that, go for it. If it breaks 1160, you can get to 1200 in an instant, in one day. Conversely, if it loses this area right here, which I think, I did say it's going to kiss 1130 to close the gap, and oh my gosh, I didn't check that, but the low was 1130 and 86 cents, so I missed it by 86 cents. That's close enough for government work, especially that it was up in 1200. So I have no reason to short it. But if it does lose this green box area-ish, or this one, then maybe, and the market's correct, then maybe yes, but no specific Priceline bad news. Groupon, on the other hand, was mentioned positively in the news today, and they managed to finish the day really red. So that is not good for Groupon. There is this trend that it needs to hold, and today it did close above it, but pierced it severely. I know some people are a little bit long it. I cannot chase it or try to catch that falling knife. I don't know anything about their fundamentals, but this is not good, and the range is tightening, so there's going to be a move coming. A break above 780, or this orange line, could fuel a rally up to 8 or so. Conversely, a break below this one, you tell me. This is an open gap. This is a huge candle. Easy come, easy go. What would I say? Chutes and ladders. Well, this was the ladder. Where's the chute? If it comes, it's going to come fast. So I'm not a fan of this stock. So anyway, I'll hook up with you before the morning. But again, if you don't get the email in the morning, that means the email delivery system is broken. It doesn't mean that I forgot to write it up. Nick, signing out.